So now it is that we can able to talk about this and have this discussion. Since that we reacted to Drake's tailor-made freestyle, let's actually go into a deep dive and really just have some things explained about with this and the reason why he used the AI between Snoop, which feel like it's still weird at the end of the day. Like he could have just like called Snoop, like, hey, listen, bro, like I got a diss to this I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get you on board with it or whatever. You know, it would have been easier that way. But using Tupac as with it, a voice within AI, but he sounds like a Drake flow versus a Tupac flow. It's still a little weird. So, all right, let's go into this deep dive into the diss actually explained. Let's get into this next video, y'all. Let's do it.
Alright guys, so I knew this was going to happen if Kendrick did not issue a timely response, that Drake would most definitely drop another record on his head, and that is exactly what Drake just did. Now, I'm not one for putting time constraints on diss records. Whenever Kendrick's ready to drop, then so be it, but the longer that he takes, the more records that we're going to get from Drake. Drake is bored, like the guy's playing chess by himself. Now, in the Push-Ups record, Drake stated that he was going into this war just like 50 Cent, and that is exactly what we have been seeing. Just like 50, Drake is leveraging social media right now to clown Kendrick. He's literally trying to force
Hey, hold on, not just Kendrick. He is bullying the hell out of Metro at this rate. And mind you, Metro is not even the rapper. He's a producer. Metro's getting the short end of the stick. All different types of drum references, you know, background references. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, at this rate, you about to make that nigga in Metro actually get in the booth. And not to produce, he gonna produce it and rap it, bro. You stop.
The guy to just put out a record. And the reason why Drake is doing this is because he understands the power of public perception. It's very interesting to me to see just how quickly the masses can completely change what was once a very strong opinion. If you asked people 3 weeks ago if Drake had even a chance at going toe-to-toe with Kendrick, they would have laughed you out the building. However, as Drake has continued to chip away at Kendrick, the masses are now starting to change their minds. I actually did a poll today, and it had like 40,000 votes, and it was very close to like 50-50. And I know for sure if I had to run that poll a month ago, it would have been easily 80% in favor of Kendrick, maybe even higher. So right off rip, Drake feeds into the AI narrative that people were running with when it came to the Push-Ups track. Even in my own comments, this was something that I seen many people latch onto right up until the track hit streaming services. And look, I'll be honest, I'm a massive Kendrick Lamar fan. Like, I have intimate knowledge of every piece of music he's ever done. I'm a fan. But the way I'm seeing some of the people act on that side, it's like, it's nothing short of complete and utter fucking delusion at this point. Like, it is sad. Drake starts out the record by impersonating Tupac with an AI voice changer.
Kendrick, we need ya, the West Coast savior. Ain't great in your name and some hip-hop history. If you deal with this viciously, you seem a little nervous about all the publicity.
And keep in mind, it's extremely clear that this is Drake rapping. Like, I first listened, I knew right away.
I said that. I literally said that. I'm like, this is Drake doing this, which is weird because of the fact it's like, Drake, you're not from the West Coast. You're not even from the US, gang. You're from Canada. You're from Toronto. Of all the places, boy, you going into other people's hood trying to talk about something. It is like, you know, West Coast savior, and the East Coast, West Coast at this rate. Like you playing a little bit of a dangerous game at this rate. I don't know.
You could tell this is Drake. He just used a voice changer. In the opening line, Drake cleverly channels Tupac to deliver a motivational message to Kendrick. Over the years, many looked at Kendrick as the successor of Pac, some even referring to him as his offspring. Even Kendrick mentioned a dream that he once had where Tupac paid him a visit, imparting words of encouragement.
And it's a real situation where I was asleep one night, man, and his blur like a silhouette, and he basically said, "Keep doing what you're doing. Don't let my music die."
So Kendrick clearly took this visit from Tupac very seriously, and Drake uses this to his advantage. People look at Kendrick as not just the West Coast savior, but often as the savior of hip hop as a whole, and Drake is shooting bullets through that narrative. He continues on to claim that if Kendrick played his cards right, that he could engrave his name in hip hop history. And as we all know,
he already
Tupac is
has.
well known for having one of the most vicious and scathing diss records ever, which was Hit 'Em Up.
You claim to be a player, but I fucked your wife.
However, it gets even deeper when we find out that word on the street was that Kendrick was planning a Hit 'Em Up style record against Drake.
I heard his energy is just going to be something that's hard for Drake to match.
Yeah.
They said he's coming like on some Pac Hit 'Em Up.
So with this Tupac,
I need it. I need it. I need it. I need it. If that is the energy, mind you, I have not heard any single body since Pac dropped Hit 'Em Up. I haven't heard anybody with that energy yet, or even use that same beat. To be honest with you, so if this, I'm saying this now, if Kendrick come out and it's on some Hit 'Em Up type shit, and he's going in word for word, bar for bar, of just going after the niggas it is that was talking shit, oh, it's gonna be fire. It's going to be fire. I need it. I need that. If that's what it is we coming up with, if that's what's being cooked up right now, then let that happen. I need that. I need that. We'll do a whole listening party in the fucking VC if it comes out at like midnight or whatever day, like, you know, whenever it come out. Whenever it come out, we will all listen to that shit. I put that on God himself. You know what I'm saying? But if that's the style we coming, I'm for it. I'm for it. This is why it is I haven't given up on Kendrick. Everybody just like, hey, listen, you know what I'm saying? At this rate, shit, Drake has already dropped another disc. At this rate, goddamn. At this rate, it's like I said about with the whole TaylorMade freestyle. It's I don't really like it because of the fact that you're trying to channel somebody else that you never met. Second, you're not even from the West Coast. You're taunting this nigga in a way I don't think this is gonna benefit you, gang. This could get real dangerous. So you know what I mean? So you know, Drake with his T heat, your short ad bar. Hey, you know,
Gangle, he's really trying to get in his head now, really fucking with him. In the last line, Drake alludes to how Kendrick seems a little nervous with all the publicity. Realistically speaking, this is the first time where Kendrick has had his back against the wall. We've never seen him go toe-to-toe with another artist, especially someone as big as Drake, and it appears that he may have stage fright. This is quite literally the first time in Kendrick's career.
I don't think it is he got stage fright. I don't think it is that he got stage fright. I don't know if it's that. I'm just gonna go based off of like, listen, I am around a lot of family members that is who either correctional officers or niggas who been within that street life, okay? One thing it is when you start pushing somebody back up against the wall to where it is they have to get back into their old roots, whatever they may be, good, bad, or indifferent, that's not gonna be pretty. That crash out is gonna be bad. That's gonna be a terrible crash out, especially for somebody that is who's been a product of an environment of being in the city and stuff like that. And ain't Kendrick from fucking Compton at all the goddamn places. I don't think it's that. I think it is he really gonna come through with some bangers, but it comes down to a level point of like, is this just rap shit or are we about to really get into some real gangster shit? That's where the line is gonna be drawn at. He ain't got damn stage fright. We gotta give his time. He coming out with some heat, and I know it. Drake Ghostwriter's working overtime. I hope that he pays him well. You know what I'm saying?
Career where he's found himself becoming the butt of many jokes. So Drake is pretty much saying like, where?
There's no way it is that you're saying Kendrick Lamar is the butt of the jokes, but then like J. Cole literally made the whole butt of the jokes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all my people it is that are J. Cole fans. I love J. Cole as well. I do. But ever since it is that he did the apology thing, there has been a whole bunch of like, even Drake said it is that he ain't rock with that whole apology shit. So at this rate, it's like, you know, I don't think Kendrick is the butt of the joke. I really don't.
Where are you when it's actually time to do this? Like, yeah, you did Control, you had your moment. Yeah, you did Like That, you had your moment. But now it's actually time. Like, where the fuck are you?
Fuck this Canadian light-skinned doc. We need to know the baby West Coast victory, man. Call him a bitch for me.
Drake then proceeds to predict some of the obvious angles that Kendrick might use, taking away potential ammo.
Talk about him liking young girls, that's a gift for me. Heard it on the Budden podcast, it's gotta be true.
Again, I don't understand how Tupac would even know about a Joe Budden podcast, let alone even have fucking met Joe Budden in the 1990s. Let's be a little clear here. But Joe Budden didn't come out about what, like fucking like early 2000s. That man Tupac was already dead. So what are we? Again, that bar was a little weird to me. I was like, I don't really like. How does he know? Okay, all right, cool. But I mean, Drake, you can't deny the fact that is you be liking them young ass girls. You can't deny that. If it's not a new chick it is that you with, a new signed artist it is that's coming up on the rise and everything like that, got their little hits out and everything like that. You be the main one photo opping with these girls. So I mean, are we being wrong? Or is that a wrong thing to say? That's not far off. You know what it is that you're doing.
Drake then makes mention to the ongoing viral rumors that he is involved with much younger women, which was a narrative seemingly promoted by the Joe Budden podcast. But really what Drake means with this is Kendrick is scrambling. Like, I'll call him a bitch. I'll call him light skin. What about the Joe Budden? That gotta be true. I'll use that. Like, he's saying, like, I know you have fucking nothing. I got a lot.
They told me the spirit of Machiavelli is alive, and the nigga under 5'5", so it's gotta be you. I would beat the whole fucking game.
Drake uses Tupac to dish out another joke regarding Kendrick's height, and makes it seem as if Pac is disappointed with Kendrick's approach to the beef. He perfectly does this by pointing out how Pac handled his beefs in the past.
I would beat the whole fucking game.
Essentially what Drake is doing here is he's downplaying any potential comparisons between Tupac and Kendrick. Drake is
I feel like this is stupid because even when like listen, even when Pac had the whole beef with Biggie, he ain't come out of prison on what hit him up. He said he had a whole plan, a strategy, what it is that he was gonna do. He put out bangers after bangers after bangers. Niggas didn't even notice he felt this certain type of way until it is he dropped Hit 'Em Up. That was the whole point of it being the hardest that it ever was. It was a fucking surprise. Niggas didn't know how it is that he was feeling. He didn't even speak on it. He was like, hey, listen, right now it is, we dropping another banger out, banger hits after hits after hits. That nigga was literally charting, topping the charts with every single one of the songs that he was dropping after this he got out. The bullshit essay charges it is that it wasn't even proven true. So at this rate, it's like come on now. I don't like the whole thing of the using the AI stuff. Like, I feel like Drake is kind of out of line for doing that. One, you're not from the West Coast. You never met Tupac before. Tupac had a whole strategy of how he was even about to go about the shit. And he also had help from fucking Suge and with the whole Death Row. You know what I'm saying? So at this rate, it's like, come on now. I don't like this. I don't like. I don't like this. The first Drake diss it is that he came out with, that was fine. But the moment you start doing this, you had to use Tupac AI and then fucking Snoop. You couldn't call this nigga up yourself? Like, dang, this shit is just weird to me.
He's pretty much saying, look, you're not fucking Tupac. You never were Tupac. You never will be Tupac. You're not even this guy at all. Stop it.
It was me and Snoop Dogg, had my fucking shirt off in the House of Blues. You gotta fuck this nigga, girl, he gotta get abused.
Drake continues to blow holes in the Kendrick and Tupac comparisons by referencing Tupac's infamous performance at the House of Blues. It was at this performance where Pac doubled down on the Biggie disrespect, screaming out how he slept with Biggie's wife.
I ain't wanna fuck that fat bitch, no way. But you know that's the secret to war. He my enemy, so she looked alright.
Drake seemingly insinuates that without having this sort of angle to play, and without having this sort of dirt in the tuck, he could never...
Hey, listen, Faith ain't know what the fuck was going on. I'm not gonna say it as if she was blind to it. It's just, look, he asked her to go ahead and sing onto a hook, come out to LA. It was a point in time to where it is that she needed some money. She felt like it is she wasn't really getting anywhere. The respect it is that she needed on the East Coast, so she went to the West Coast and put the hook onto the song. And it was alleged it is that he didn't want to give her the money unless it is that she did some things, and she said no. And then that was it. To be honest with you, now there's a whole lot of speculation on like, oh, did she sleep? Did she sleep with Tupac, or did she do that? I don't think it is she did. I kind of believe her story to where it is like she did go there honestly just to go ahead and sing hooks. Like that wasn't her first time going to LA to do that, to be honest, for other people as well. Faith has written for a lot of artists, including Mary J. Blige. So at this rate, I'm like, I don't know about that. Now her being with Stevie J, even though Stevie J and Diddy was, boys, producers and stuff like that within Bad Boy, and then Biggie was in the mix of that. I think that was a little wrong. But do I feel like she smashed Tupac? No, I don't think so.
Match the energy of Hit 'Em Up. Drake, on the other hand, does seem to have something nuclear on Kendrick, which he alluded to on the last record.
This ain't even everything I know, don't wake the demon up. This ain't even everything I know, don't wake the demon up.
And I'm only saying this shit because of the situation. Look at what we're seeing from Drake. He is begging this man to respond, mocking him with West Coast legends. He doesn't seem fazed by Kendrick Lamar at all. In fact, he seems more confident than he's ever been in his entire career right now.
All that shit about burning tattoos, he is not amused. That's jail talk for real thugs. You gotta be you. Gotta leave this motherfucker broken and bruised before we really lose.
Drake then continues on by referencing Kendrick's line from Like That about burning tattoos.
I'm snatching chains and burning tattoos, it's up.
Drake begins to chip away at the aggressive boogeyman aura that Kendrick presented on Like That and claims that he needs to start being himself.
You asked for the smoke, now I seen you too busy for the smoke. I won't lie, the people confused. Now you about to get this shit another week and fall back to home, girl, but run the numbers up. I would've refused for these industry relationships. She not in your shoes.
Drake uses Tupac again to symbolize the stark contrast between Pac and Kendrick. He then alludes to how Kendrick has the people confused, as over the years, even the most respected OGs really put Kendrick on a pedestal.
So when he did drop the, Control verse, to me, it's necessary. He's feeling like he's feeling. One thing about the West Coast, we ain't never been friendly. So I don't know why y'all thought this nigga was gonna be friends with y'all because he had a backpack. He may have a motherfucking AK in that backpack.
Drake continues to detail what Pac's reaction would likely be to Kendrick's delay. So Drake got Pac saying, this guy? This is the guy that you're saying is me? That's a fucking insult. Do you guys remember what I did and who I was?
Now, don't make me pull the timeline to where it is that when Pac came out of prison and then when he dropped Hit 'Em Up, they were not within close time frame. So I don't even know what this is about, to be honest with you. I really don't. Because again, Tupac didn't drop Hit 'Em Up immediately after it is that he got out of prison. That wasn't Tupac did that very smart at the end of the day. He made it seem like it is that he was even beefing with niggas for real. And then dropped it, and then that was really how it is that he was feeling type shit. But I don't like this use. I'm gonna keep saying this.
This is supposed to be the new Tupac? Nah. Drake hints that Kendrick felt pressured by the industry to delay his record release due to Taylor Swift's album drop this week. What's even more intriguing is Drake's choice to hold back his push-ups track until after Swift's release, adding a layer of depth and pettiness to the situation. I mean, essentially Drake is doing exactly what Tupac is telling Kendrick to do on this record. Drake is pretty much saying, even I'm more like Tupac than this guy.
You're supposed to be the boogeyman, go do what you do. Unless this is a moment that you tell us it's not really you.
So Drake is really driving this thing home as he questions Kendrick's boogeyman exterior. Drake is pretty much saying, aren't you about that action? I thought you were this rappity rap hardcore hip hop guy. Unless that's not really you. Drake then switches up West Coast icons and starts to speak through Snoop.
Okay, I found it. Because now, Listen, the last thing it is I like is when people just sit there and say bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So September 16th in 1995 was Tupac was needed money to bail himself out of jail. So Suge Knight came through with infamous Death Row Records to where it is. It's like 3-album, $3.5 million contract. So that's when it is that he signed. So oh no, that was when it was presented. So things became official October 4th of 1995 when Tupac signed the formal contract with Interscope, constructing a deal with Death Row Records. All right. He was released out of prison of October 12th of 1995, 8 days after this contract was signed. Hit 'em Up wasn't dropped until June 4th of 1996. So I ask again, to what the fuck are we talking about here? It is just like, oh yeah, this isn't what it is. Like this ain't my legacy. This isn't this. You ain't know what the fuck it is that nigga was going through back in the 90s. That's why I had to look that up real quick. I'm just like I know that's not what relatively close. Like I know that's not. Like what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. So that's 7 months. That's 7 months after signing the damn records to Interscope or Death Row Records is when it is he dropped Hit 'Em Up. And like I said, that wasn't even his first song that he dropped out of the album. Like, what are we talking about?
Nephew, what the fuck you really got to do? We passed you the torch at the House of Blues, and now you got to do some dirty work. You know how to move, right? Right?
Speaking through Snoop, Drake references the emotional moment for Kendrick when Snoop and several West Coast legends passed the torch to Kendrick at the House of Blues.
Nigga, you got the torch, nigga. You better run with that. You better run with it, nigga, because it's yours.
And I can almost guarantee that this is getting in Kendrick's head. Like, he's bringing him back to this moment where Snoop Dogg is like, yeah, here's the torch, but you got to do right by this. You know, this is a big fucking deal. Don't let us down. Drake then alludes to how Kendrick has to do some dirty work, mentioning that he knows how to move. Coming off my last video, again, I feel this is a reference to ongoing issues between Kendrick and his wife. It was only 4 months ago, Kendrick decided to purchase an $8.6 million penthouse in New York.
You know how to move, right? Right?
So pay attention to how he puts emphasis on this in particular. Like, you know how to move, right? Right?
I know you never been to jail, orange jumpsuits and shower shoes. Never shot nobody, never stabbed nobody, never did nothing violent, and no one is the home.
I don't know if that's accurate. I don't know if it is that's accurate. Never shot nobody, never stabbed nobody, never did no violence to no one. The same person it is that came out with the song "The Promise to Sing About Me." If y'all ain't listened to that song, it is that lets me know it is that y'all don't really be listening to his music. That man comes from violence and street violence at that. So yeah, he may have not went to jail or won the jumpsuits and shit, but this last part, I don't know if I believe that.
That empower you.
Similar to the approach that Drake used through Tupac, he now drives this home through Snoop, mentioning how Kendrick has never been about that life and how it was the people that he surrounded himself with that were really from the streets.
World is watching this chess game, but are you out of moves? That you know the DOG never fucking doubted you. But right now it seems like you posted up without a clue of what the fuck you about to do.
So more of the same here. Drake continues to clown Kendrick for not responding in a more speedy manner, and he really says something that is pretty predictable of what Snoop might actually say. I mean, just think about how petty and disrespectful this is. Like, he's literally using West Coast legends to try to inspire this guy to just respond to him. Like, that's crazy. He then, in a funny way, segues into his own verse, making it seem like Snoop set him up for an alley-oop.
Yeah, that's the truth. I'm definitely about to come around the land gang and let my fucking bowel move. Shitting on you niggas from a whole different altitude.
Drake continues to shit on Kendrick and his label PG Lang and states that he is far above their caliber.
High up in the sky like I'm Howard Hughes. The first one really only took me an hour or two. The next one is really about to bring out the coward in you.
In the first line, Drake compares himself to aviation business tycoon Howard Hughes, who was once the richest man in America. He then has one of the coldest lines on the track, stating that his push-ups diss only took him 1 or 2 hours to make. While fans seem to marvel at Drake's performance on that record, he makes it seem like it was light work and that his next one will be a full-on knockout. And this right here is exactly how Drake is winning people over. Like you can't win a fight by saying nothing. The judges got to have something to score. By Drake saying, yeah, that diss only took me 2 hours. Like he's really trying to control the public's perception of Kendrick remaining quiet. Like it doesn't look good for him.
But now we gotta wait a fucking week, cause Taylor Swift is your new top. And if you about to drop, she gotta approve. This girl really about to make you act like you not in a feud.
Similar to the lines on Push-Ups where Drake alludes to TDE extorting Kendrick in the past, Drake claims that Taylor Swift has now assumed that role. He then makes it seem as if he has some inside information that Kendrick is at the mercy of the industry's demands. You can't say that this is not calculated. Like, he's fucking playing chess here. Like, it's funny to me because Drake is known as the industry guy, but by doing shit like this, he's basically showing people that he really doesn't give a fuck. Like, if I want to drop, I'm dropping. Like, he's making a statement with this.
She tailor-made your schedule with Ant, you out of the loop. Hate all you corporate industry puppets, I'm not in the mood. I love it when you niggas talk loose like I'm not in the room.
Yeah,
Drake hints that Kendrick's manager Anthony has constructed a previous rollout with Taylor Swift and that Kendrick has zero say in the matter. He then makes it seem like he has someone within Kendrick's immediate circle that is sharing information with them.
Since like that, your tone changed a little, you not as enthused. How are you not in the booth? It feel like you kinda removed. You trying to let this shit die down. Nah, not this time, nigga, you following through.
Drake makes a big statement here. Kendrick's Control verse solidified his position at the time, casting Drake in somewhat of a negative light. At the end of the day, the Control verse truly did help propel Kendrick's career and overshadow Drake in the public eye. However, Drake makes it clear that he will not allow history to repeat itself and suggests that Kendrick attempted to recreate the Control moment with like that. So he's saying like, no, not this time. You're not about to just get your little moment off and then go hide away. We're doing war this time. I'm not letting this happen again.
I guess you need another week to figure out how to improve. What the fuck is taking so long? We waiting on you.
Again, Drake is begging Kendrick to respond, basically saying that he's trying to buy time. Like, how are you not in the booth, bro? You're supposed to be this legendary MC. Where are you?
The rest of y'all are definitely involved. Y'all getting it too. Soon as you get the courage to drop, I'm out on the loose. On the loose.
So right now, Drake is not overly concerned about the side missions as Kendrick is his main target.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie with you. Between ASAP, Rick Ross, again Kendrick, Future, Metro, Weekend, he been knocking niggas out left and right, and which is why I was just like, all right, cool. If you don't go about with the diss, go about with the diss. But like you trying to taunt the nigga the wrong way, bro. Trying to use niggas that is just from the West Coast, are known for the West Coast, and trying to taunt him like this is that's not really the right way to go about it. Especially since you're not even doing it right, you know? So I'm not really, Drake, I understand it is like, listen, you gonna drop a diss, drop the diss. The first diss was fine. That was, you know what I'm saying? Like, you was hitting you was getting a shot for everybody. Like, bing, blah, blah, you know what I'm saying? To everybody. But this, I don't really like this trolling. I don't like this trolling record.
But he does make it clear that he has more in the bag for the others involved. And then he proceeds to do something that he never does, completely out of character. He just talks at the end of the record over the instrumental.
Yeah, shout out to Taylor Swift. Biggest gangster in the music game right now. You know, I moved my album when she dropped. I said that already.
I mean, I think it's funny as fuck. He's making Taylor Swift seem like she's Suge Knight.
I know you in that NY apartment, you struggling right now. I know it. In a notepad doing lyrical gymnastics, my boy.
So again, the question needs to be asked, why did Kendrick purchase a property in New York just 4 months ago? Like I said, man, like Drake knows something. He does.
Better have a motherfucking quintuple entendre on that shit. Some shit I don't even understand. Like, this shit better be crazy. We waiting on you.
So this is really strategic and smart from Drake, especially given his previous mention of his last record only taking 1 or 2 hours. Drake is basically shaping public opinion before Kendrick even drops his record. Kendrick is known for being an amazing lyricist, so if it's taken this long, the diss has to be monumental. It's
I think
smart
so,
because
too.
he's holding Kendrick
I think
to
so,
the
too.
standard that everyone else puts him at. Like this pedestal he's on. Like, this is where I want you to come in at. So, regardless of what anyone says right now, Drake is clearly winning this war. Now, obviously, Kendrick hasn't responded, but Drake already seems 2 to 3 steps ahead. Ultimately, what Drake tried to prove here with this record is that the guy that has been deemed a boogeyman, the guy that has been passed the torch, the guy that gets compared to Pac, the guy that antagonizes beef, is not really that guy. Now, this is far from over, right? I mean, like, we all seen how quick they flipped on Kendrick. All it takes is for him to drop that one record, and then the sheep are going to herd towards the noise, pretty much, right? Oh, we're going over here now. It's just how it is. We do need Kendrick to come with something, because I guarantee if he doesn't, Drake is going to drop another record again. He's going to keep rapping. So it is what it is.
Let's go, Blue.
What's the Dirt is so dope, bro.
He kills it, right? His
He is
Kendrick
so
and
fire.
Drake.
Hold it, bro. That shit is so hard, dog. Run it back.
And shout out to my dude, What's the Dirt, because I do like him. I do.
Oh, yes, he's dope.
What's the Dirt? Shout out to that person. The homie looked like he did a good job.
I saw that clip on YouTube. The guy did a good job.
He did.
He did a good job with that.
It came across my phone.
That's crazy. This guy's the Nostradamus of rap.
Fresh out the club on my way back to the mansion.
Dang. Oh my gosh, bro. Well, and this was dropped 16 hours ago. And J. Cole apologized and had our man change his outro. Oh yeah, like normally he has a J. Cole outro, but he changed it up. Damn. Well, with that being said, y'all, we shall see. If Kendrick gonna be coming through with that banger, like to hit him up and everything like that, I don't mind the wait. You know what I'm saying? But it depends on how long it is that we're gonna be waiting for. Because if not, then people are gonna be looking at this man a lot differently. But What's the Dirt? Shout outs to you. Love your videos, love your work. You're doing a phenomenal job of putting out the information like that. You know what I mean? Shout outs to y'all in the chat. And shout outs to you at home. I will catch y'all in the next video.